Hey, so my name is Zui. I'm the co-founder of Sway Commerce. So first of all, I want to send my deepest thank you to the organizers of this event. You guys have really given us startups like a chance to reach out to the community, to other startups, and all the incredible VCs to support our path. And so yeah, today I present to you Sway. We are Web3 and Metaverse enablement for modern commerce. So let's first take a look at the market landscape. In Southeast Asia, one of the biggest markets for e-commerce, biggest brands and e-commerce platforms are trying the best to optimize user acquisitions and also retentions. They're also finding new ways to engage with the customers who are primarily Gen Zs. And these customers, we want new commerce experiences and we want rewards when we contribute to these online shopping platforms. And so, looking at these problems, what Sway can bring to the market is, first of all, new experiences in form of Metaverse, and second, rewards for the users engaged to applications. First of all, our first features is brand Metaverse. We offer our solutions as plugins for e-commerce aggregator platforms such as our partner Haravan, so that they can provide our Web3 services for their merchants. And once connected with their wallet, the merchants can now have access to Sway Meta showroom. Inside the showroom, the end users can interact with the environment, with the different products from the brands, and when they purchase these products inside our Metaverse, they not only get the usual physical items from the brands, but they also get brands NFT and also Sway tokens. And the end users can use Sway tokens as a form of universal loyalty point system and cashback. We architected Sway as a decentralized ID layer. So we built that on EOS.io on top of the usual e-commerce layers on the Web 2. And then by doing this, we allowed our end users to actually stake Sway tokens based on the reputations of the brands. And so if they believe a merchant is doing well, they can stake the Sway token. And if, based on the different scenarios and performance of the merchants, if the merchant is actually doing well, then the end users will actually get rewarded with more Sway token. On the contrary, if the performance of the merchants is going down, then the end users will be punished and the token will get slashed and burned. So this is a great way in our tokenomics to help the e-commerce market to solve their fraudulent ratings and review. Let's go on the brand's perspective. We provide them with Web3 referral marketing to scale out their business. We work with our partner, Access Trade, to drive engagement to this brand Metaverse with more than 100,000 KOLs across Southeast Asia and Japan. And when these KOLs, they reach a certain milestone in engagement, such as Facebook likes or TikTok views, they'll actually be rewarded with Sway token and brand NFTs. Our go-to-market strategy is that we are doing these product launch events with the brands. So currently, we are partnering with one of the biggest shoe brands in Vietnam. We built for them their Metaverse presence and also help them to mint their product NFTs. And so this is a way for us to give a brand a commission-based solutions to launch out the product while within their budget and getting better reach. How we monetize, first of all, we charge a SaaS fee for our e-commerce Web3 solutions. Secondly, we do revenue shares with our brands and partners. This is the commissions that we get from the marketing campaigns that I've mentioned earlier, and also any related NFT fees. Finally, we do trade financings. So, as I've mentioned, Sway built a DID layer, so we can actually exchange our user data to financial institutions with the user's consent. And then Sway will get commissions from these trade finance offers to SMEs. These are financial projections of total revenue of 9.5 mil at the end of 2024. And we have some partnership brewing at the moment with the likes of Haravan and Access Trade, who provide us with the brand connections and also the KOLs connections so that we can build out our platform. What we need as investment is $1 million in the safe and SAF kind of view. We want to use this fund to implement the Sway Web3 MVP platform. We're going to pilot with the major brands on these flagship campaigns. And finally, we're going to support a marketing budget behind driving sales activities, both to scale out these e-commerce brands and platforms, and also for the token presale. Our roadmap, currently we're building out our MVP as well as doing partnerships with Haravan and Access Trade. At the end of the year, we'll launch out these brand marketing campaigns to test out the market and also doing our IDO and INO. Based on the success of these campaigns, we'll develop further plugins for the e-commerce platforms, and so we will scale out to different ecosystems. And in 2024, we're going to expand to Southeast Asia. Our founding team, we have Vivian, who is our CEO. She has more than 15 years experiences working in SMEs and brand engagement. Her previous role is CMO and board director of TP Bank. Me, myself, I'm the director of engineering. I'm a software engineer from Duke University, getting a full scholarship there, studying computer science. We have Jay, who's our CPO. His background is a Scrum Master and also HR specialist in FPT software. And finally, we have Phương, with her excellent experiences in top e-commerce platforms in Southeast Asia, who will work as our COO. And here's our list of angel investors and advisors. And yeah, that's the end of my pitch. So I'm welcome to any of your questions.
You mentioned there was an ability for, self-reinforcement or self-regulation of a merchant's credibility score, et cetera.
Yes.
How do you prevent brigading from competing merchants? Brigading. We're both selling the same items. We're similar small business. I send my clients over to lower your scores.
Oh, could you repeat that last part?
I send my customers or clients or fan base over to brigade your store to lower your sway.
Yes.
And you would be penalized for that compared to my store. How do you prevent something like this from happening?
Oh wait, sorry. I think the audio is very low.
Yeah. How do you prevent the brigading from happening? For example, if I'm a competing service or store, how do you make sure that my users are not coming over and purposely tanking your sway to make sure that competitively I have an edge?
Yeah. So this we have basically 2 steps that we can prevent this. So first of all, we work with the e-commerce platforms, so they already have metrics systems to calculate out the performance of the brands and also the merchants. And so what Sway brings to them is a mechanism of signifying trust to the merchants through a Sway token. So they stake the Sway tokens based on the reputations that they think that the merchants that they have interacted with are worth that. And so we will have penalizations and also rewards for the end users based on these different scenarios when they stake the token on the brand's reputations. So we just want to have so the normal sort of ratings and review systems, they're badly gamed because users, they don't actually lose anything if they put a bad reviews or a falsified ones. And so what we do is that we want them to provide a stake when they actually contribute anything to the reputations or the reviews of another counterparty. So that's the solutions.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit more? When you talk about staking, are you talking about staking? Is each brand getting their own vault, or are they staking? How are they staking it? Is it?
So our staking mechanisms, we would want to work with the e-commerce platforms because they already have different tools on evaluating the merchants, and also they have different merchants in there, so that we would provide this as plugins in the current system right now. Is that answer your questions or
So when you stake it, do you earn yield from the staking, or it just seems kind of difficult or time-consuming to be creating different vaults for every brand, for every product?
So we would stake it on the basis of the service. So whenever an end user they interact with the brands, for say they buy a product from these shoe brands or so we consider it as the basis of interactions, and then users can then stake their Sway token based on the service, on the reviews of the service that the brands have brought forth.
I mean, you're not convincing me on this. I still don't understand. There's Nike, there's Adidas, there's Puma. How does that work then? Can you?
So I mean, you're talking about big brands. I'm more talking about like the different merchants. So as you know, like in Southeast Asia, there are a lot of SMEs merchants, and there hasn't been like an effective way to like evaluate their sort of like reviews on these merchants. And what these features of the staking that Sway doing is we kind of like focus on this type of
I got it.
market. Yeah.
I understand what you're doing.
Thank you.
Speaking of the token, it seems like the token use case is mostly on loyalty and cashback for customers. What's the utility of the token actually?
I'm sorry.
So it seems like the use case for token is mostly on loyalty points, cashback for the customers.
Yes.
But I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to have a token, right, for those use cases. So what's the other utility for the token?
So you asking the utility of the token for the brand?
No, for Sway.
For
Sway
Sway.
is a token, right?
So I mean, our token is utilized for basically for enhancing the e-commerce experiences that we have right now. And so for our token, we can help the brands when they want to mint NFTs, they have to use our tokens. And also we use our token to like help the different platforms and the brands to as an incentivizations model to help them to scale the business.
Okay, and what about the experience of onboarding merchants now? How does it look like in terms of the
Can you
journey?
repeat that? I'm sorry, there's like the audio is a little bit like.
What
loud.
about the onboarding experience for merchants now? How does it work?
So for the merchants, for the merchants, first of all, are you talking about tokenizations or like the overall service?
Onboarding experience for merchants.
Overall service. Well, so the ideal way is that we're gonna integrate within the different e-commerce aggregator like Haravan, or like in the future maybe like Tiki or Shopee. And so we would want the merchants to have their usual onboarding process, and it's just something like add in their wallet, and that's when they can start using like features. So we don't want like a new sort of like a new marketplace or like a new user flow. We just want the users to use the existing flows, but with added like Web3 functionality in it.
So I want to be clear. So essentially, you'd be adding an additional service layer to existing e-commerce platforms.
Exactly.
Will you be adding settlement on-ramp, fiat to crypto on-ramp, off-ramp, and settlement forms?
Well, so currently so far we haven't thought about that. Actually, I think that there has been like different companies in the market right now are doing that. Maybe we will like partner with them on that regard. But Sway currently we don't have a plan on doing on-ramp, off-ramp, on that kind of stuff.
Okay, understood. And so then the focus really is on kind of loyalty, vouching system,
Yes.
The influence factor.
Exactly, yeah.
And then being able to layer in this specific service, but not provide any of the wallet or on-ramp, off-ramp services yet.
Yes.
What community is going to seed your initial set of influencers?
Well, our initial community is going to be like KOLs within the e-commerce space, because like we want to like really focus on the brand engagement. That's why we're doing this sort of flagship marketing campaign so that we can help the brand to scale and also get them like a community of both crypto and traditional commerce to like help them to boost their brands. So that's the target that we are focusing on.
These e-commerce KOLs in the e-commerce space, are you talking about like TikTok,
Yes.
resellers, etc.?
Yes, exactly like that.
What do you think the overlap is between Web 2 users, Web 3 users, and these TikTok e-commerce influencers?
I'm sorry, I'm just adding the slide, but this is not working. Anyway, so one of the few things that we found out as market dynamics when we started our Sway is that any of the sort of online merchants that we talk to, there's a high chance that they also are crypto traders. So we see that there's been this huge merge between traditional online marketplace users and also like crypto traders or like Web3 adopters. And so we see this in Vietnam that this merging of these two groups form like a perfect sort of like starting market for us to start out Sway. And so like the dynamic is been shifting, and more people in Vietnam and also in Southeast Asia who are both like into like online shopping and also crypto. So we see this as a win for us.
So again, in the early days, early stage, I think most of the user, try to get a Sway token, and then, but is these kind of user data is really valuable for the brand or e-commerce player for your client?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that last part?
Yeah, so is this user data really valuable for the e-commerce player or, onboarding brand? Yeah. Yeah. So user of the Sway token, is that data is really valuable or not in the early days? That's my question.
I'm sorry, I still couldn't hear your question.
No, he's asking, is the data that you're getting from the Sway token valuable in the early days?
The data on the Sway token evaluated?
You're asking about the data, right? Yeah, he's asking about the data.
So how is the data on Sway token evaluated?
No. So in the early days, a lot of users try to make token. That's it. They don't care about brand and e-commerce. So,
yes.
But these kind of data is really valuable. I don't think so. But how do you explain?
Sorry, I still couldn't understand fully your questions.
Oh, I mean, fine. I'll talk to you later. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay.
He said he will come find you and talk to you later.
I'm sorry?
He said he's going to come and find you and talk to you later.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm waiting for some other questions from you guys, sorry. Yeah, actually, the audio up here is not very good for some reason, so my apologies if I have to let you guys repeat your questions. We're welcome for any additional questions from you guys.
Yeah, I think later you can talk more with
you
our
guys so much.
judges. Better audios later, right? Thank you so much, Mr. Yuju, for your performance.